Good evening and welcome to Insight News Channel. I'm Najwa Fateha and here are today's top stories. Tonight, we turn our attention to Argentina, a vast and diverse nation located in the southern region of South America.
Argentina is an expansive nation situated in the southern region of South America. Argentina is the eighth largest country globally and the second largest country in South America following Brazil. It covers approximately one-third of the land area of the United States. Argentina shares a border with the Andes Mountain and Chile to the west. The country is geographically partitioned into four distinct regions: the Andes, the North, the Pampas, and Patagonia. The Pampas serve as the central region for agriculture activities. In 2022, this country has a population of 45.51 million, moving on to 2023 with 45.77 million and currently has a population of 46.06 million with a growth rate of 0.62% in 2023. Among Argentina's population, 49.5% are men and 50.5% are women. Argentina's population is equivalent to 0.57% of the total world population. Argentina rank number is 33 in the list of countries by population. This country's gross domestic product in 2024 is 604.26 billion US dollars. The GDP decrease compared to previous year is 7.73%. Total labor force in Argentina was reported at 21,842,876 in 2023, according to the World Bank collection of development indicators compiled from officially recognized sources. In December 2023, Argentina's labor force participation rate was 60.8%, increasing from 60.5% the year before. The inflation rate in 2023 was 133.49%. It increased 61.09% from 2022, and currently the rate was 249.79%. It increased 116.3% increase from 2023. Argentina unemployment rate for 2023 was 6.84%. It increased 0.03 from 2022.
Despite its rich geographical diversity and natural resources, Argentina is currently facing several economic challenges. The two main economic issues plaguing the country are unemployment and inflation. Historically, Argentina has experienced high inflation rates, leading to significant instability and making it difficult for people to afford necessities. To know more about inflation, we go to our reporter Hamzah to cover more about this inflation.
Thank you, Najwa, from the studio. Now I'm going to report a bit about theory of inflation. The money theory of inflation said that money supply growth is the cause of inflation. The faster money supply growth causes faster inflation. To be more clear, when 1% faster money supply growth causes 1% more inflation. There are four theories of inflation that in the definition of inflation. First of it is quantity theory of money that argues inflation is determined by the money supply. Next is demand pull theory of inflation that suggests the cost of goods and services rises when demand is greater than the available supply. Other than that is the cost push theory, which is inflation to the rising cost of production amid a steady flow of demand. And the last one is the structural theory of inflation, describes a type of inflation that often prevails in developing countries.
So now I'm going to explain a type of inflation. There is three types of it. The first one is demand pull inflation, describing how demand for goods and services can drive up their prices. Next is cost push inflation. When raw material costs increase for businesses, the businesses in turn must raise their prices. And the last one is Boolean inflation. Business raises workers' wages or salaries and tries to maintain profit margin by raising prices. Of course, there is an effect of inflation. There are four effects of it. First, lost purchasing power. Those on a low income or fixed often feel the effect the most. Next is higher interest rate. Rising interest rate impact household purchases across the country. The third one is higher price for everything. The older and lower income wage earners are the first to feel the bite of higher prices. And the last one is economic growth slope. The cost to borrow money is intentionally increased with the hope that this will decrease consumer spending and slow inflation. And of course, there's a way how to overcome the inflation. Here we have three of it. The first one is open market operation. It to decrease the money supply and adjust interest rate. And the next risk is discount rate, yet another interest rate that needs to be raised to temper inflation. And the last risk is price control, to keep the prices of goods and services within a certain range or at a certain level. And now we go back to the studio with Najwa.
Our correspondent Zafira is on the ground in Buenos Aires with more details. Zafira, what can you tell us about the current situation in Argentina?
Good evening, I am Zafira Aliza. Today, we are diving into Argentina's economic challenges, focusing on fiscal deficit monetary, policy issues, currency depreciation, and their impacts on inflation. Let's start with the fiscal deficit. When a government spends more than it earns, it creates a significant fiscal imbalance. In Argentina's case, this deficit is often financed through borrowing or printing money. This influx of money into the economy puts pressure on inflation rates, affecting the cost of goods and services for consumers. Moving on to monetary policy challenges. Inefficient management can worsen inflation. Argentina has struggled to control its money supply, leading to instances of high inflation and currency depreciation. These economic fluctuations impact business and consumers alike, influencing daily financial decisions. Particularly concerning is currency depreciation. Argentina heavily relies on imported commodities and services, and any fluctuation in the currency exchange rates can lead to import inflation. As the Argentine peso weakens, the cost of imports rises, driving up overall inflationary pressures across various sectors. Lastly, the management of public debt plays a crucial role. If not effectively handled, it strains government's finance and can exacerbate inflation. Debt monetization, where the central bank indirectly funds government spending, further complicates the economic landscape by increasing the money supply and potential inflationary risks. In conclusion, Argentina faces a complex economic scenario driven by fiscal deficit, monetary policies, challenges, currency depreciation, and debt management issues. Tackling these challenges effectively is crucial for stabilizing the economy and ensuring sustainable growth in the future. We are diving into Argentina's inflation journey over the past decade, marked by significant ups and downs, and more recently, troubling spikes. Let's break down the numbers. In 2013, Argentina's inflation rate stood at a manageable 25%, but soon after, it began a steep climb, hitting 29% by 2014. Amidst economic turbulence, it dipped slightly to 25% again in 2016, mirroring yearly levels. The 2016 election ushered in hopes of economic stabilization, briefly lowering inflation to around 25% to 30% through 2017. However, ongoing economic challenges and external pressure saw rates shoot once more, peaking at nearly 47% in 2019. Then, the global pandemic struck in 2020, intensifying Argentina's economic woes. Inflation persists at alarming levels through early 2021 and into 2022, prompting renewed efforts to stabilize the economy, including negotiations for a new IMF program starting mid-2021. But despite this effort, inflation rates skyrocketed to an unprecedented 150% in 2023, marking the highest level since 1991 and triggering a severe cost of living crisis across the country. This staggering figure underscores the profound economic challenges facing Argentina, pushing poverty levels past 40%, a grim reality for many Argentinians. As the nation grapples with these daunting economic realities, policymakers continue their efforts to stabilize the economy and ease the burden on its citizens. That is all from me. Thank you. Back to Najwa in studio.
Unemployment is another pressing issue, causing widespread inequality and poverty. The country finds itself on the verge of economic collapse once more, grappling with one of the highest rates of the inflation in the world, almost a decade of economic stagnation and rising poverty. Let's go to the next reporter, Farsha, to explain more about unemployment.
Thank you, Najwa. And with me now, Farisha. And today we turn our focus to Argentina, where unemployment remains a pressing issue. The country jobs market has been under significant strain, and recent developments have brought renewed attention to these critical problems. According to the latest figures from Argentina's National Institute of Statistics and Census, the unemployment rate stands at 6.81%, reflecting the ongoing economic challenges the nation faces. This rate represents a complex interplay of various factors, including economic policies, global market conditions, and internal structures issues. One of the prominent figures addressing Argentina's economic woes is Javier Milei, an economist and a rising political figure known for his libertarian views and outspoken criticism of the country's economic policies. Javier Milei has been a vocal critic of Argentina's traditional economic approaches. He argues that excessive government intervention, high taxes, and regulatory burdens have stifled economic growth and led to high unemployment rates. Milei advocates for a radical shift towards free market policies to stimulate job creation and economic recovery. Milei's proposals include significant tax cuts, deregulations, and reducing public spending. He believes these measures will attract foreign investment, stimulate local businesses, and ultimately reduce unemployment. However, his views are not without controversy. Critics argue that Milei's approach could lead to increased inequality and social unrest, particularly in a country where many rely on government support. They caution that rapid deregulation and spending cuts could have destabilizing effects on vulnerable populations. On the other hand, the expert emphasized that while Milei's ideas aim to boost economic efficiency and job creation, the transition must be carefully managed. Abrupt changes could lead to short-term job losses and social disruption. A balanced approach is crucial to ensure that the benefits of economic reform are widely shared. On the streets, opinions are mixed. Many Argentinians are open to new policies if they can create jobs, but there are concerns about losing the support they currently relied on. Meanwhile, the government has now new initiatives aimed at addressing unemployment, focusing on job training and support for small businesses, some that echoing Milei's emphasis on empowering the private sector. We'll move on to Shazwina about the current unemployment situations in Argentina. Have a good day. Farisha Kuratulan.
Argentina's unemployment rate has been on a roller coaster in the recent year because of the pre-pandemic year, where the rate was relatively stable, but it began to arise as the country faced an economic challenges. Due to the COVID-19 impact, it causes a significant spike in unemployment, which it reached double digits in 2020. The rate has been improved in the recovery area, which is around 6.8%, and it remains steady in 2022. However, Argentina's labor market are known with inflexibility, inequity, and inefficiency, where almost 22.7% of employment is considered vulnerable due to economic risk, which is almost impossible to get a social traction and vulnerable range. Main reasons of how unemployment rate in Argentina is increasing is because of inflationary crisis, as mentioned by Zafira just now, and informal labor market. Informal labor is defined as employment happening outside national work legislation, which are commonly not registered to the government and not being taxed. It is not only affecting the tax revenue, but the worker also loses protection and social security benefits provided by the law. For workers, informality does not present itself as an option, but as false financial survival. Since Argentina market does not offer many jobs in the formal economy, therefore employers grab at whatever position they are available. There's a few effects from informal labor market, which is buffering effect and trapping effect. Buffering effect is kind of the good side of informal labor, where it creates a job when a formal job is limited. However, there is a limitation to buffering effect, which is the quality of the job is low and it is not permanent. Trapping effect acted out as the bad side of informal labor. Usually, formal workers receive a lot of benefits, but it doesn't work the same to informal workers. Also, due to lower wages offered, it makes the workers find it hard to make a saving or to build a secure future.
That's all for tonight's edition of Inside News Channel. Thank you for joining us. I'm Najwa Fatiha. Have a great evening and we will see you next time.